Hello guys, today I am going to teach you how to draft an elastic waist palazzo trouser that actually fits you. Let's start with the front pattern. I already have my fabric folded into two on the table and it's about 16 inches wide. Now let's mark our vertical measurement. The first step is to mark ½ inch allowance at the top. This will be used later to join the trouser to the waistband. Next, decide how wide you want your waistband to be. I want mine to be 1.5 inches wide. I am going to place that 1.5 inches on this allowance line. And every measurement we're about to mark will begin from this point. Now, mark your hip point. Mine is 10 inches. Mark your crotch depth. Mine is 12.5 inches. Mark your knee line. Mine is 23 inches. Then mark your trouser length line. Mine is 42.5 inches. And finally, mark your hemming allowance. Mine is 1.5 inches. Now, trim off the excess fabric. Next, take your hip circumference measurement. Mine is 42 inches. Since this is a palazzo trouser, you will need to add ease. I am adding 4 inches ease, giving me a new hip measurement of 46 inches. Next, divide that by 4 and add 1 inch stitching allowance, which gives me 12.5 inches. I'll mark that 12.5 inches on the crotch depth line, hip line, and waistline. Then connect the points into a straight line. Next, let's form the front crotch curve. First, mark your crotch extension. Mine is about 2.5 inches. Then go up by 2 inches and mark. Finally, go in on the waistline by ½ inch and also mark it. Now, connect the 3 points as shown and that forms your front crotch curve. Now, let's shape the waist. Go in by ½ inch on the waistline and blend it smoothly into the hip line. Now, go to the crotch line and measure from the edge of the fabric to where the crotch extension stops. Mine is about 15 inches. Divide that by 2, giving approximately 7.5 inches. I'll mark that 7.5 inches on the crotch line, knee line, trouser length line, and hem line. Then, I'll connect all the points into a straight line. This becomes the crease line, which is the midpoint of the trouser. Now, let's shape the trouser leg. Go back to the crotch line and measure the same 15 inches again. Transfer that measurement to the knee line, trouser length line, and hem line. If you want a very wide palazzo trouser, simply connect this point and cut it out. But because I don't want mine to be too wide, I'll go inward by 1 inch from both edges on the knee line. Then I'll repeat the same thing on the trouser length line and then on the hem line. Now, use your curve to connect from the crotch line to the knee line on both sides. Then, use your ruler to connect from the knee line to the hem line on both sides. Go ahead and cut out the front pattern exactly as shown. Here is one final adjustment. Come down by ½ inch from the crotch area and blend it into the side seam. We'll trim this later after drafting the back pattern. If you would like to see how I drafted the back pattern, type yes in the comments. And if you would like a detailed beginner-friendly tutorial that explains every step, head over to my YouTube channel at Unit Abby Fashion.